She found me in the nasty man.
Oh my God.
I was like, somebody old and gray. She knocked on my door at the convalescent home. Hello, sexies. Welcome to the podcast that keeps it popping and we don't plan on stopping. What's our topic? Sex.
Obviously.
All right, and welcome to another edition of Sex, Obviously. We have special guests today. So, Dr. JJ, would you do the honor of introducing our guests?
All right, I actually don't let the guests introduce themselves, so we'll start with the ladies to my right.
Hi guys, my name is Malenie. I'm excited to be here today.
Welcome, Malenie, and the young man, the gentleman.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Ben, and I'm honored to be here with you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Malenie and Ben, for joining us today. We thought it would be cool to switch it up this episode and bring some folks on because we're talking about communication. What are your sexual communication styles, and what messages are you sending, maybe inadvertently, that either help you with your frequency and help you engage with your partner better, or they're actually really a hindrance? And so I wanted to start off by just giving a basis for what we were thinking about in this conversation. I was reading this article about sexual communication when it comes to couples. And so with sexual communication, I saw that most couples, about 80% of couples, have very ineffective communication styles when it comes to sex. And so they typically rely on subtle cues, body language, and gestures to communicate their sexual needs. And whereas the article finds that you need to be a little bit more open and more direct when it comes to your sexual needs. So I want to start with our guests. How do you find your communication style to be, and how's it working for you?
I think that, over time, like, my communication style has definitely changed for the better. Like, definitely being younger, late teens or 20s, like, you're a little, at times you could be really embarrassed to, like, talk about sex and, like, things that do and don't work for you with your partner because, you don't want to step on any toes, you don't want to offend them. At that point, everybody thinks they know what's best, and it's like, yeah, my shit is what is like, that's the shit. And you don't want to sit there and kill their ego, especially if it's somebody that you care about. So, but over time, like, I've definitely learned that, like, at the end of the day, I gotta get mine too. So, I can't sit there and completely stroke your ego. And I'm sitting here like, the fuck? I didn't come this time either. So, yeah.
Or last time, the time before. Right. And probably not the time in the future.
Right. I'm like, this can't. So, there are definitely ways that you can sit there and speak to your partner in ways that won't hurt their feelings. And honestly, if you can't, then maybe that is not the partner for you. That's definitely something that I have come to learn. If you can't sit there and accept my constructive criticism, then this isn't going to work for us. Like, we both have to be satisfied in the end.
Right.
And I don't want to sit here and watch you come every time. And I'm sitting here just like,
without a word. I do not want to sit here and watch you.
Right. And I'm like, okay, what about me?
What about me?
Very important.
Girl,
Very important.
what about me?
Everybody got to get theirs.
My turn. Let's just share.
Our turn.
I sounded really anticlimactic. That's it.
It'd be that.
Man, Lee, tell them how you talk about and communicate, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, you're great. It's served in a coastal home.
Hey there, sexies. Just a note from your producer here. We lost Ben's audio in this section and had a few more issues capturing his audio throughout. However, he does have plenty of great insights and lines to give you guys later on in the show, and you're not going to miss much. We hope to have him on again, and we want to give our apologies to Ben and to you while we get these things tightened up. Please enjoy the rest of the show, and we can't wait to hear from you guys again.
Feelings, but like, what are your deep-rooted thoughts or belief systems that you're bringing into the bedroom? Is there insecurity there? Is there some projection there? Because then that is going to be, those are going to be really bad filters of what you're trying to really verbally and non-verbally express. So I always encourage everybody to peel back those layers and just be honest with yourself. Because initially, when I first started engaging in sexual activity, I did have some projection and some insecurities at first. And then once I dealt with those, it made it easier not only for me to communicate what it was that I wanted in the bedroom, but also to hear and understand and listen to what my partner wanted in the bedroom. So I always start off with that personal work, because if you haven't, crossed those T's and dotted those I's, then it'd be hard for you to accept or to use any other information after that.
Yeah, that's really important. I think you can relate a lot with what Ben is saying about like these tropes that we're told, and we grew up with these sort of like feelings about sex and how we're supposed to or not supposed to talk about it, right? Not supposed to talk about it, and how that really impacts, like, it comes all with you into the bedroom.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's not a biblical reference for, like, suck my balls, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that I can use to justify biblically what it is that I want and what feels good to me sometimes, right? And so you have to feel comfortable talking about what you physically want. I think a lot of these constructs that we have around us limit the pleasure that we could otherwise receive from one another. And so if you're scared to even verbalize what it is that you like, even when you're doing it, it's probably not going to be done to the level that you can really enjoy, or to the level that it could be. Why? Because you're not able to even let yourself go and be all the way in the moment with it. And so I think a big part of communication is being able to say something that might otherwise be uncomfortable, that might go against some of the things that you were taught growing up and all the rest of that, but will feel really good to you. And the reason that it can be okay is because you're in a space with a person that you can trust implicitly and deeply, right? That part of it makes it so that, I can say this incredibly nasty thing, and then we can do an incredibly nasty thing, and then we could take the kids to Sunday school, right? Like, you want to be able to do all of that and then just walk out the house like nothing happened and just smile at each other in the fellowship hall after church or at brunch or whatever. When everybody is wondering why she's smiling like that. Yeah, and the other ladies know it's probably because her husband nasty and told her some nasty stuff. And it's true. Like, that's what it's supposed to be about. Have fun. But so much of the external structures are designed in ways that don't make it feel like we can be open with one another, have fun with one another. You can't ascribe to all of that and at the same time really be as deeply into the person as you could.
Battle, right? Because it's not only are they not designed in ways that you can engage openly with your partner, but they're designed in ways where you're feeling ashamed for even thinking the things that you're thinking and needing and wanting the things that you want, right? So it doesn't, before it even gets out of your mouth, where you can't even talk to the partner in here, right, is where the battle is. The battle is happening in here, and we're all having this struggle with, should I not think about the things that I'm thinking about? Is there something wrong with my needs, right? And so I found for me, even before I could even get to a place to figure out what my communication style would be, I had to reconcile in myself that there was nothing wrong with what I needed and how I needed it before I could even talk to someone else.
Yeah, I think that getting it right within yourself is important, right? Because if you're asking somebody else to engage in something that might be new for them too, you gotta at least feel comfortable with it within yourself. And sometimes it's baby steps, right? You can move towards something that you're like, and you don't have to go all the way. Yes, and hokey pokey, they start with just putting the left foot in and the left foot out. It ain't all of the things that shaking it all about. You gotta start slow, right? And so give other people communication is about people being able to digest what you say and saying too, right? It's not just about you feeling comfortable sending the message. It's about how well the message is received by the other person and whether or not they're ready to give you what it is that you want and feel comfortable about it too. And so that's the thing. It's like if all of your messaging is all just about what you want and your communication isn't focusing on pulling from the other person what it is that they want, because everybody wants something. And I can tell you, women in this culture are socialized to not talk about all that freaky stuff. Really, not want it, but also certainly not say it because, like, this man actually loves me. He takes me out to dinner, and we go to shows, and we go on trips, and he treats me like a woman that he actually loves. If he knew the nasty stuff that I be wanting to do with him and to him, then he's gonna think about me differently, right? And it's unfortunate that
Because that's what she needs to communicate. Because I guarantee you, himself, and if he's not being confident in his divine masculine to communicate these things, then all of a sudden there's this subconscious disconnect of the person that I'm in a relationship with versus the person that I'm willing to divulge into these different sexual escapades and situations with. Um, and that just leads to a lot of, I mean, even less communication and less trust. And so that can create issues, and regardless of whatever dynamic that relationship is in. I had an ex who, I guess her and I, we had a really good chemistry, and there was a point in time where she liked wearing my older dress shirts. And she wanted me to rip them, right, with the buttons, the dress shirts, because like my dress shirt would fit most of her body. She was thick and was shorter, and I really did get a kick out of pulling it. And so it just ripped them open, and that eventually progressed to, I guess, consensual non-consent is what they call it.
Yes,
Big fan.
Yes.
big fan.
And really, like what you guys were saying, we had to work our way up to it. Like she wanted to see, was I even comfortable, just ripping his shirt, and I really enjoyed it. She wanted to see, I wanted to see if she was comfortable with being more vulnerable with me. So that eventually led to scenarios where I would get a key to the place, that I can just come in indiscriminately if I wanted to, and I know which particular days I can live about and kind of hide and pop out, and so that was when I really started to understand, like, oh, okay, this is possible. One, two, there are people out there that can meet and match your sexual prowess and the things that you're interested in. And three, you need to open up your damn mouth and
open your mouth.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Open wide. So let me ask you all a question. Because I've had communication styles in the past that just did not work, right? And so, have you had experiences where you're trying to communicate your needs and it was just not effective?
Yes. There have been times like I said, I'm not trying to shoot nobody's ego down, but like at the end of the day, I have to get mine too, because I know that you're getting yours, and I'm trying to make sure that you're getting yours.
Right.
So, previous acts, like, just sometimes I would give instruction, not in like a
Because I was gonna ask, like, how did you give an instruction?
It wasn't like touch right boob, like no, none of that.
Right.
But like sometimes it would be incorporated with the sexy. So so if I'm sitting here and I'm giving instruction, he would always tell me to stop because he was like, I know what I'm doing. And I was just like, I mean, I know you know what you're doing, but
you don't.
But right, and I'm trying to help you help me. And then there were just like certain things that I would be into. He was more from a conservative background, also. So I was a little, for lack of a better word, I was into a little bit more freaky shit than he was, and every now and then he would try to sit there and get with it or try it. But I mean, most of the times it was like, nah, we don't do that. And I was just like,
was he like that before you became official, or like he got like that?
I guess he was like that before we became official. But maybe, I was like, oh, this is something that I could change. This is something that we could work with. We could grow together. And it wasn't. I found out. Right. It wasn't. And so, yeah, those communication lines, it definitely did put a hindrance on our sex life. And it definitely did cause a lot of problems. Like, there were certain things that I was into that he would just, like, he was also a very jealous person. So, like, if I was trying to bring somebody else in or trying to try something, he was like,
oh, you were just
you were
too advanced
level,
like
he was on the beginner course.
He was like on sex with me, and you were on like
you like master Jedi level.
No, we don't do this.
Let us levitate. He's like, I'm scared of heights.
Right. He was like, we're scared of heights, and I was like, I don't know about you, but
right. What about you, Ben? Any communication styles or like experiences where your what you were trying to communicate that you need just fell flat?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I see now moving forward, I need to check people's keywords on Pornhub just in general, just so I can see. Because clearly,
what's their searching price?
Searches that are way more advanced than others, and I think that would be a very good, icebreaker these days for me. Like, what's your
Man, I'm adding this to the list for the audience. Yeah, for the audience. Listen, if you want to know how freaky your partner is, check their keywords on Pornhub. What are they searching for? If they're searching for vanilla, not for you. Move on.
Make sure you check their other sites too.
Vanilla can be delicious, though. It depends on what type.
No.
No. I mean, I just think of vanilla mixed with other things. Right. That's my problem. And I really actually
that
just.
That's not what Ben is saying. Go ahead, Ben. Tell your story. Tell your story, sir.
Yeah. So, poor communication. I've had a jealousy. It's either jealousy or I think people are just in denial. Your partner can be in denial where they feel like they, quote unquote, met their match, or they present the fact that you're able to feel more comfortable in what would we consider more societal extreme sexual situation than they do. So then that turns around and that they just put on a facade or this false bravado while secretly being like, look, I can't even start to feel even the least bit comfortable in what they're asking for. And that's okay. And I think building that vulnerability before you get to the bedroom to where you're mutually vulnerable with each other is what's really going to help you be vulnerable and understanding and communicating and once you get to the bedroom. So I feel like there's always a direct correlation there. So if I'm constantly having to pry or pull out answers out of my partner, then I should be aware that, okay, if this is in regards to thoughts on children, child rearing or career aspirations, mutually working together, building together. And I'm having to pry out this much information out of you that I already know once we get to the bedroom, there's most likely going to take that same amount of energy to pull out how she truly feels. And that can be exhausting. So yeah, that's definitely a red flag for me. At this stage of my life, I can't build
Not gonna be able to do it.
Communication because man, that will just have me. Yeah.
No. We at this big age, we're not gonna be able to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just grown up sexually repressed too long.
Yeah.
I'm finally moving in my authentic self. So if somebody can't match my authenticity, then I'm going to check the deuces and just wish them the best of luck.
No, that's
I can never go back to that place.
Can't go back. That's a good point.
No, that's a good point. Also, that communication is kind of a comprehensive thing, right? And so, if you're bad at communicating in all these other ways, how are you going to be able to say some of these things that you're likely to be embarrassed about, or you most certainly didn't lead with when you were trying to start the relationship, right? Like, you got to be able to be transparent in ways that allow both yourself to feel comfortable with you, but also another person to feel like they're getting to know you, and also so that they can feel comfortable coming with all their nasty shit. Because that's the deal, is like, if you seem closed off, or you seem like, oh, okay, I'm not into anything, I'm not open to anything, then your partner is going to feel like, I probably can't come to him or her with what I'm thinking, because what I'm thinking is way nastier than what we're doing. And so both of you are pushing yourselves further away from one another, in each other, away from each other's corners. And then, what are you doing? So now you're hiding the deepest, darkest, most intense sexual desires from the person you're supposed to be building with. And you're going to take that out to the streets, right? And then you're going to do the mundane stuff at home that you're just going to hit. This is what we're supposed to do. You're not even in your physical or sexual relationship by that. It's like the whole Madonna whore type thing. Where
I was just going to say, bring that up, y'all. Right? We talked about this earlier, the Madonna whore complex.
When you have a man who looks at a woman, and when they're single and they aren't completely attached or committed to one another, then she can be as wild as all get out. He can too, and he can be completely comfortable. Then, once they get married or make things official, now he's like, that's my woman. I love her. She's on a pedestal. She shouldn't be doing all of these nasty things with my balls. I need.
It's not balls. It's really the balls. It's the balls. I feel like he's trying to send a message. Message received. Okay. Balls. Got it.
Oh, please.
I'm just saying. Look, I got it. All right. Received.
Yeah. So the deal is be as open as possible and honest with yourself, because it's not just about you sending the message, it's about you being able to receive the most authentic message from your partner. And that person needs to feel like comfortable to do that, and y'all need to be able to relate on a real level, because that person might actually really be just vanilla. But I think when you open things up and people really allow themselves to be comfortable with what they like, everybody got something. Everybody got something that they like. You know, they like syrup and biscuits, but not just to eat. Somebody got something nasty that you want to do with something pretty. I switch it from balls to biscuits. All right? The thing is, there's going to be something. There's going to be something that you like that's different, right? And that's okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's great, because now you have a thing that distinguishes you from everybody else. And if you tell your partner, you might find out that the syrup and biscuits thing is their favorite thing too. You said it, she's like, oh my God, I've been waiting on a man to mention biscuits. Right? The whole deal, right? Exactly. We finally found it. I know there's so many dudes scared to tell girls that they like feet. And they mess around and meet a girl that's like, no, I love it when a man touches my feet, touches my toes and stuff like that. Now you won. You won that. But she's not going to come and tell you that she wants you to suck her toes and stuff like that because she's scared too. Somebody has to. Somebody got to jump first. And I feel like if you have the situation where you and your partner both feel comfortable jumping in and saying what it is that you like, nobody has to be out, and all of y'all can like get in at the same time, and you ain't got to worry about Tasha turning double head, none of that stuff, right? Now all good. You got everything. You ain't got to worry. So, like, communication is important, not just for you to get what you want, but for you to be able to know what your partner wants.
I feel like you got a story. When did you try to communicate your needs, right? And that felt, it just bombed.
You know what? This has been my life for a while, audience. I have been the type of person who tried to hint and hope a lot of times. And that hinting and hoping got me very disappointed on many occasions, right? Because if you're not honest about what it is that you like, then your partner's not honest about what she likes. And so you have this artificially low level of freakiness because both of you are holding out, right? And so you're like, you can't hint to somebody that you want them to do something extraordinarily nasty. You can't be like, oh, you gotta pee?
Everybody in extreme like it.
Oh, yeah. What's mid level nasty? What's that like? Peeing near us? Like not on them?
Not on them.
I'm trying. I've been going down the rabbit hole.
Now hold on a second, y'all. Because Ben clearly had something to say about mid-level nasty. I want to hear this. He was ready. What's mid-level nasty, Ben?
Yeah, because mid-level nasty to me, and maybe this is like a high level for other people, but mid-level nasty to me is coming off the face. That's mid-level nasty.
Mid? That's mid?
That's mid.
That's
mid.
Okay.
I agree.
I want to know high because
He said what he said, though.
because I want to know what's high for you, Ben.
Coming in her anus would be like high level nasty, but coming in her face would be mid level nasty.
Really?
That's interesting.
Oh, I see, because it's a little bit more like taboo for that.
Precisely.
Right.
Yeah, let me invite inadvertently,
No.
Her titties and just kind of,
Wait, pee on her titties?
No.
Wait, what?
Did you say pee?
Oh, no, that's
You said ski?
It's
ski.
I didn't get into that particular.
We didn't even go that far yet. Okay.
We in the water sports now?
Okay, I was the person who introduced it. It's not Ben's fault. I was the one who said, it's hard to hit. Can you pee on me? It's a hard hit to get.
I totally get that, and that's why, communication is super paramount. I find that my communication has gotten so much better, especially since I'm into, and we'll talk in later episodes about kinks and BDSM and all of those kind of things. But once I started using vetting sheets, right, and going through okay, hard no, curious, yes, maybe, definite yes on all of the things that are in the categories of things that I would want to do, and going through that with a partner, it allowed the communication, because the communication, sometimes I have a hard time being direct, right? Just open out and say, I need this or whatever. I'm definitely much more of the body language, kind of let me just lay my body on you and see what happens from there kind of person, right? And so the sheet kind of does the intermediary thing for me, where it's I don't have to say these things. You don't necessarily know whether or not I want all these things, but I can use it as a jumping off point right? Because, okay, if this is a definite yes and it's a definite yes on my sheet, okay, now we can talk about it, right? And so it helps me ease my way into getting to the more nuanced needs that I have that are underneath the surface, because, you know, like Dr. Love will say, he's like, you got this little innocent face. Nobody would know all of the things that you do and are willing to do because you just look so, like, you know, not about it. And I would find that, like, for me, I think once my sexual appetite started to evolve, that's when the communication fell flat with my previous partner, right? When we both were at the same level, right, of the things that we do and that are consistent, and his needs were sort of like, I felt like his needs were at his peak, right? Okay. Like, I knew all there was to know about that, right? But mine, as I got older, started to evolve and deepen and expand in all the directions. And when I wanted to talk about, okay, yes, what we've been doing here, it has worked. But now I'm like, rising.
What else is there?
Right. And you're like, I'm good. I'm like, but I'm not anymore. The space. It's not that you weren't meeting my needs. They've changed. Right? They've evolved. I done watched some things. I done read some books. I done met some people. Right? I done got older. And, you know, once you start reaching a certain age as a woman, them hormones start hormoning. And
you don't care what people
doing all kinds of, and you don't care. I'm not 20-something no more. I don't care what they think. I don't care if I'm a slut. I don't slut shame. Yeah, I'm
all of that.
All of that. Right? So once I started to come into my womanhood in that way, I'm like, me and you, like, we're committed. We should be able to go everywhere with it. And he had peaked, and that room from where he peaked and where I grew to was such a chasm that it was like, it was impossible to be able to bridge that gap.
And I feel like that's why communication is important too, right? Because people don't stay in the same place. And so as you're moving and growing, the only way the other person is going to know is if they're actively communicating with you. And if you're feeling distance between your partner who seems to be liking a whole bunch of different and new things, and you kept stymieing every time she talked about wanting to do something in public, or wanting you to touch her a certain way, or wanting you to wear a certain thing, or do a certain thing, or try a certain thing, you said no, so she stopped coming to you. And now she's built a whole life in her mind or with other people in terms of getting her needs met. So communication is important, that the other person feels comfortable talking to you. Otherwise, they can grow past you. And you can grow in your own direction if you don't talk.
All right. Like, I remember, like, you know, in the kitchen, you want to get on your knees and do a little something servicing to your partner, right? And he literally picked my face up and picked me up and was like, my wife should be on her knees. That to me was the beginning of the end. Like, wait, what?
I'm sorry, what?
It's a philosophy that many don't share.
Yeah. That's what happened. I'm like, do you know how, first of all, how embarrassing it is when you're trying to please someone.
Yep.
And they stop you mid-string.
Hey, men have gotten a tap on the head.
It's straight up embarrassing.
It is.
Two, it's like, wow, it's like, where do you go from there?
Yes.
But this wasn't even a technique issue, right? Because, like, when men get the tap on the head a lot of times,
It's
because
like,
you're doing something
that's
this ain't working. No. You know what I'm saying? I see you trying to come with the heat. You know, hit the showers, kid. You'll come out and pitch another day.
Coming off if you're doing the head push. Like, don't do the head push.
Yeah.
The head push, you got like 50% chance, bro. Like,
Yeah. No.
I get it. Like some women who are skilled artisans at what they do, and like orally presentations. Like,
The oral
presentation. You just sit back, bro. Like they got a whole PowerPoint set of slides.
Yeah, that was great.
They got audio, visual, aids. They got everything.
Yeah.
So just,
Audio visual.
Yeah. But you know what? But I feel like that's an excellent opportunity to think, though, right? Because, like, there's ways to communicate what it is that you do like, right? The tap on the head is like, okay, hit the showers, I've given up on you. But if you're vocal throughout, like you can tell the person, yeah, do that. Oh, that feels good right there. And if you won't give that, but like in the case of a person not even having a technique issue, it's more like they just don't want you doing that because they see you differently now based on the condition of the relationship.
Right. Now that we're married and I see you as my wife and potential mother of my children, you are not going to be doing all of the freaky things that you were doing before we got here. So it's like,
exactly
that's how I got there, right?
How we gonna have these kids?
Right.
Like, I thought this part was supposed to expand, getting involved, just like.
And all it did was shrink.
Like if our finances are growing, our family is growing, our outlook on life is growing. Why does our sexual aspect of our relationship have to regress at that point in time? You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to almost go backwards?
But it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. A lot of couples, they get together, right? And when they start living with each other, the sex life that they had is no more.
Every man that I know has talked about this trope. Even if they haven't experienced it, it's a trope of, hey, once we get together, she ain't gonna, she ain't want to have sex no more. She certainly ain't gonna want to suck dick no more. That type of thing, right? You hear guys say this. Well, I'm just saying, like, these are things that people talk about all the time. Like, now that we're close in relationship, financially, we live together, we own a house together, we're completely separate in terms of what we actually like sexually, because neither of us talk to one another about it. All we're doing is what it is that's prescriptively said you're supposed to do, and we're doing that as infrequently as possible because I don't know, the connection is not there. The connection is not there because you haven't built it. The communication is necessary to build it. You got to communicate with yourself first. And really think about what it is that you like, and then also be open to hear what that other person likes and actually build on that so you evolve.
Because the worst thing to stifle communication, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like you start communicating your needs and the person doesn't respond to it. So okay, I'm communicating and then nothing changes. Right. You're not responding to it. So it does not incentivize me to continue to communicate with you, right? And I think, I don't know about the fellas, but for us, right, I think, and you can speak to it, like, I grew up thinking that I'm a receiver, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the sex is something that happens to me.
Right.
Acted upon me.
You don't give it.
I don't give.
Right.
Uh-huh. And so communicating in that sense is very difficult when in my mind I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be receiving the thing and it's something that's happening to me. Right. And my pleasure it's never been really centered in any sexual conversation I had. Right. About you.
Right. No. Right. Right. Not at all.
So it's like we don't even have I think a lot of times women don't even have the language, right?
Because we grow up in a culture where it's like it is taboo for like women to speak. Like normally it's men that speak on like sexual pleasures and what they want, but when women speak about it, it's so taboo. Like and I did like, and for a long time I was very embarrassed, I guess, to speak to like friends or other people about
can't even speak to other women,
right? Yep. That like what I like, what I do, or whatever. And I mean, I guess it does come with, like, growth and getting older, and you just don't care anymore. Like, I'm grown. Like, I like what I like. But, I mean, like, slowly I have, like, started to speak to, like, other people. Like, this is what I like. And, like, you actually are kind of shocked at the responses that you get. Because a lot of times when you open up, like,
The floodgates come out.
right.
And all of my circle of friends are like, girl, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, I like that too. Let me tell you what I did. I'm like, well, let's just hear it. You did that? Well, let me tell you what I did. Ooh, I'm gonna try that. Like,
Right, exactly.
Authenticity, man.
Yeah, that's how you assemble your freaky squad. The
right,
people
right.
to help one another. Yeah, like you. You
Like, I feel like I need a Dakota ring. Slide.
Right, let me go. Let's go, sexies. Like, but for real though, because you have so many people who, if you tell them what you like, especially outside of your relationship, they will poo-poo whatever it is. Like, oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. There's something wrong with you. Is you gay? You like that? Like all these types of things that will be told to you as a man for whatever it is that you like to do with a woman. If you're a woman, what? You a successful, beautiful woman. Right? Why you doing that? Like the girls, right? You have a high socioeconomic status. You shouldn't be allowing people, and you're like, allowing. This is what I like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. That's it.
And dump that onto me because I feel comfortable having a threesome with another man with my female partner. Because I'm not intimidated by my sexuality.
There you go.
People aren't there.
My masculinity, but in reality, your masculinity is being challenged. So that and then you worried about, like, you probably don't want to be around your girl, bro, because y'all not even married. And I'm pretty sure she probably brought that up to you, too. So,
That part.
So I'm gonna interject from the peanut gallery real quick. Yep. Yeah.
When I communicate about my desires to my partner, but it is this regular casual conversation. So someone when I bring that up, it lets you know right then and there, like even from like a friendship perspective, is this a guy that what I'm saying is somebody that I'll be cool with because he seems like he's not gonna be a strong brother that I can link up with. So I get all of that. Us talking about things from a sexual perspective, and because I am comfortable with my sexuality, I can have this conversation with anybody, and I know who I am and what I like and what I'm about, and I'm not like released and intimidated by it. So. I create some shock value from time to time, but for me,
we love you for it,
Dan. So we're gonna interject from the peanut gallery for a second. Here's a question for all our guests and our hosts: do y'all ever feel like you're the normal ones and everybody else is crazy because you like what you like?
No, I do because all the things that I like feel good, right? And I feel like so many times people say they don't like something and it has nothing to do with the feeling. It's about how somebody's going to feel about you enjoying the feeling. Like if that's what you're gonna do to decide whether or not you like something, how do I even know you like me? How do I know you like anything? It's all about what it is that somebody's gonna think about what it is that you like. Feel how you feel, like what you like, be real with you. Reality is what matters to me because that's where you can actually enjoy the physicality and the mental and the spiritual is when you live in what's real.
Yeah, I've always felt like the outlier, but now that I'm realizing it, that I'm not necessarily the outlier. People are so repressed, and it's sad. It's so sad to me. Like, not in a pity sad. Like, I really legitimately feel.
No, I feel pity.
Like, no, but like, I've had, because we started this podcast, I've had women
reach out to me, send me questions and things like that. And honestly, the deep-seated repression and shame that people around me, even people that I have been friends with for years, didn't realize they had so much shame associated with their bodies, their sexuality. They can't open their mouths. They're in a full-blown relationship, and I'm like, in my mind, that man is miserable. One, and so are you.
Yeah.
And none of y'all really know it and won't admit it because you won't talk about it. But boy, like I don't feel like the outlier anymore. I feel like I'm doing this ish right.
Yeah.
And I hopefully, like, part of our inspiration was like, can we just talk to people on a real level and help them out, because there are so many conversations going on and so many podcasts and blogs and discussion boards, and they're coming at it from this very super adversarial point of view.
Yes.
And for us, it's like, it's a discussion, because what we want to do is have people have really deep, fulfilling sexual connections, and having those deep, fulfilling, gratifying connections lead to so many things, at least for me personally, so much satisfaction in my life. So much satisfaction in my life. So much joy, so much upliftment everywhere, really. And so I feel like people are missing out on that. So I don't necessarily feel like the abnormal one. I 100% think that I feel like the normal one, and I really just want to help bring my folks back into the circle. Like, get your freak on, please. Get your freak on. It's gonna help you.
Right.
I feel so much better.
So much better.
Happier.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I feel like what we're doing right now would be considered normal, or should be considered normal. Unfortunately, it's not normal. I don't know if it's hubris or not, but I feel like I broke most taboos, or what people would consider taboos, to like smithereens. Like, I'm very willing to explore.
Ben into the thing, y'all. Ben is into the thing.
I'd watch.
Background that I actually feel like I understand more of the God in the universe through sexual experiences and encounters, more than the people who claim to be so religious and pompous. I'm like, bruh, like, if you never had an orgasm like this with a female, like this way, like that'll really have to speak in tongues. I don't know if you do it over here.
Hey.
But,
Ben says,
You ain't never had a spirit. You ain't never called it the galaxies.
Round of applause for Ben.
Ben says she's showing him the mysteries of the galaxy. She got that Neil deGrasse Tyson on her.
He said, I know 10 was a gone. When I had this little ass like this, when I did this, I knew 10 was a gone. Okay.
I want to hear from your partner, man.
So orgasm is French for little death, and you're talking about somebody dying and then resurrecting and the stone rolling away. Like, I've experienced what a Christ-like, resurrection, probably more than some of these other guys out here.
Man, if I had some shoes, I would guess so. That would you get it, man.
But I will say that it should be normal. And I feel like this is an area of control and repression that fortunately is now being removed and released, and more people are open to it, and that's a great thing. And that's why I was.
Child, I'm over here rubbing my thighs. Benny got me hot.
It's already hot in here, Ben.
He gave a whole new version that he wrote, talking about the stone was rolled away. And on the third day, he got up with all power. Like, everybody hearing the whole thing different now. Like, wait a minute.
Some people.
Like,
I'm not feeling like there's a little moisture.
This would get you kicked out of church, man. But also the good thing about it is what's keeping it real, right? At the end of the day, I think a lot more people are a lot more into a lot more things than they're willing to tell. Certainly everybody else, and certainly what they open up and share with the world, right? And I feel like in terms of us being like, okay, this is what I like, all of these things, being open even to try stuff that I wouldn't necessarily said I know that I like, but I like being open, right? And so I like being in a position where I'm like, hey, I have not tried this yet, but I'm not going to judge it before I try it, perhaps, right? And then you're just waiting on the right opportunity where it could be good, or it might not be for you. That's a thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
not everything works for you. I feel like the way that you know is find somebody that you trust and can feel comfortable approaching and doing these things with, and it can be a good time. And when it doesn't work, y'all can just lay back and laugh and be like,
That ain't it.
that wasn't it. We tried it, though, right?
That wasn't
Like,
it.
we tried it. It would seem like a fun idea. It just didn't work out.
So not that one?
Yes.
Oh, there's many toys that was very important. I was like, so this was mine.
Yeah.
That wasn't
That hit the spot.
Yes.
That
But the only way that you get to the roses is to go through the hammers, right? The ones that don't work versus the ones that do. Some of them good, some of them not so good. And so, yeah, we'll do the reviews. We'll do our toy reviews at some point. Yes, that's right.
We're 100% doing a toy review.
Look at Malenie. She's ready to come back to that one. She's like,
Rose party? We're still doing the rose party, right?
Party, definitely.
yeah. So,
Anyway, I digress.
I didn't know.
So let's just codify it all because I think we said so many good things and for our audience to like digest and chew on. And I just want to like codify it all for them. So what's your biggest tip, right? Talking to people about sexual communication. What's one thing you want people to know that like really does work?
Honestly, I'd say just say what's on your mind. You are going to be so surprised at whatever comes out your mouth, whatever that your partner might be like, oh, all right, you into that? Like, let's try it. Like, a lot of times we sit there and we're afraid for what our partner might think, and we don't even think, we think the worst, but we don't think about the best that can come out. And a lot of times, I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, but a lot of times the best can come out, or some semblance of that.
Some in between.
Yeah.
Then your biggest tip for folks out there.
I would say just start with yourself, look at your own projections or insecurities that you might have, deal with those things, and then your authentic self will come out next time when it comes time to communicate, and you will know right then and there that somebody that is going to be immediately sexually compatible with you, somebody that you're willing to, hold their hand a little bit for a while, or somebody that you're just like, okay, I see this is not going to go anywhere in the sexual arena, and it's been great, but I'm moving on.
I love that. Dr. Love.
yeah, I would say that it is important to recognize that your sexuality in general is not just a destination, right? It's an evolution, and to have somebody that's going to be able to go with you, you're going to meet them at a point in time. And you'll be at a place at that time. But in order for them to come forward with you, it's going to require communication. Recognize that other person is going to be moving forward too. So you have to be open to receive that communication, right? So just my tip is always be listening and always be talking from an authentic space about what it is that's real for you. And if you're doing that, then you're going to end up being able to look at yourself in the mirror, which I think is most important, but you're also going to be able to look at your partner and say, I have dealt with you on a real level and fairly, regardless of what happens or what comes up.
I love that. And we are going to end on that note. I want to thank our guests, Malenie and Ben, for joining us today in this discussion. I hope you guys had a good time. We had a blast. If you like what you heard and you like the podcast, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share widely. We're on all your podcast platforms, Apple, iHeart, Spotify, name them. You can find us everywhere. And go ahead and follow us at sex_obviously on IG. That's a wrap, folks.